What's up, BattleCreek students? Wyatt jumping in here to celebrate with you all that God did at TUL WKND this past week, where we saw over 10 students give their lives to Christ and many baptized across all of our campuses. See, not only do we have salvations and baptisms, I know that there are countless stories of life change that happened this weekend. As a matter of fact, let us know in the comments how the Lord impacted you this weekend, and let's celebrate what God did together. And while we're coming off of a powerful weekend, I want to remind you that what you experienced this past weekend doesn't happen only at TUL WKND, but also at student camp over the summer. Student camp is June 23rd to the 27th, and signups are live right now. Registration has been open for 3 days, and we're already over 60% full. So make sure and register ASAP to secure your spot. What I want to do today is introduce you to our brand new series in students called No Regrets. See, we've all made decisions that we regret. However, there are some regrets that tend to last longer and cause more heartache than others, and that's relationship regrets. In this series, we're going to learn how to approach relationships God's way so that we will have no regrets. In this first week of our No Regrets series, we're focused on the heart of all relationships, which is the heart. It's the human heart. Maybe you've been in a place in your life where you've made a decision that you eventually regretted. One that at the time seemed like a great idea, yet later on hurt you. It's kind of like those times where Taco Bell sounds like a really good idea at first, but then after a few chalupas, it comes back to bite you. See, my point is that with any decision when it has to do with relationships, if we don't look inward and work on the heart first, then our hearts will inevitably work against us. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9 says that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? Jesus takes us even further in Mark chapter 7, stating that from within, out of the heart of man, come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, coveting, wickedness, and the list goes on. Here's what this means to you and I. Our hearts aren't always honest with us. Due to sin, our hearts have become deceptive to the point where at times, following your heart is actually the unwise decision to make. But here's the beauty of what the Lord can do. He can give you a new heart. In Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 26, the Lord says that I will give you a new heart. A new spirit I will put within you, and I will remove the heart of stone from your body and give you a heart of flesh. God's desire isn't that your heart would stay wicked. Rather, God's desire is that your heart would become like His. And with God's help, He can replace our sick hearts with a new one. And once this inward change has happened, then we have to work out this new heart, right? There are now habits that we should form in order to build the strength and endurance of this new heart. And the first habit of which being to continually search your heart. To those of you watching, why don't you take some time right now, search your heart. Be raw and ask yourself the question, Lord, what's in my heart? An easy way to know what's in your heart is to listen to the words that come out of your mouth. See, in Luke chapter 6, Jesus says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so searching your heart isn't as complex as we make it out to be. Just examine the things that you say. Do these things honor God or not? It's as simple as that. And as a pastor, I can tell what's going on in someone's heart by simply listening to the words that they say. So you have to continually search your heart. The second habit is to protect your heart. Proverbs chapter 4 tells us that we must guard our hearts, for everything we do flows from it. You as a believer need to take a defensive posture and guard what you allow into your heart. This means what you listen to, what you watch, even who you allow in can either do good or harm to the soil of your heart. And I love this illustration of fertile soil. Because when God gives you a new heart, it's ready to receive the right seed that can produce godly fruit in your life. But what I also know to be true about fertile soil is that weeds thrive on fertile soil. And so you as a believer have to make sure and guard your heart in such a way that the right things are what bear fruit in your life and not the wrong things. And so students, these are your two practical steps coming out of this week's teaching. Number one, search your heart, and two, protect your heart. Guys, I hope that this was fruitful for you. I thank God for you. And my prayer is that this week God would draw close to your heart. We'll see you on Sunday.